Today I'll be telling you one fact from every Rec Room original. Paintball is one of Rec Room's oldest and most popular Rec Room originals. This gave Rec Room a lot of time to update this Rec Room original. And now Paintball actually has the most maps out of any Rec Room original, coming in with 6. Now they haven't added a map in a few years, but I mean 6 is a decent amount. Moving on to Rec Royale, I'm combining both solos and squads because they're pretty much the same game. If you go to this specific tree in the Rec Royale lobby and go right behind it, you can actually glitch walk through the wall, allowing you to just kind of free roam over this invisible floor. It's really fun, especially with friends, but just try and not abuse it too much. The next one is dodgeball. We all know you can catch the ball in dodgeball, but there's actually a really easy way to do it, by letting the ball hit the center of your hand and then grabbing the ball. This isn't a super insane fact, but I mean, it's dodgeball. What do you expect? The next ones are the off-brand dodgeball and the off-brand paintball, being dodgeball VR and paintball VR. In these games, you can only teleport, and that's literally the only difference. The first quest on the list being Crimson Cauldron. When you load into Act 0 on Crimson Cauldron, there's a little radio, but right behind that radio, there's a double damage potion, so if you really struggle with Act 1, there you go. The next one is Laser Tag. Laser Tag has a ton of cool items you can earn through the currency tickets, which you just kind of get from playing the game. But there's one item that catches the eye of many, that being the Sci-Fi Bucket. The Sci-Fi Bucket costs 100,000 tickets, and out of any other Rec Room original items, this item takes the longest to grind for. And if you're wondering, it can take up to 80 plus hours to get. Me personally, I would never grind this, but if you're up for the challenge, go for it. The first Hangout Rec Room original is the Rec Center. And if you go over to the mirror in the Rec Center, there's a door with a bunch of quest posters. There's every quest here except for Crescendo. This is either because they ran out of room or they didn't think Dracula was cool enough for a poster. The next one is Disc Golf Propulsion. In Disc Golf, there are actually signs around the map referencing the science department, most likely referencing the one we had in the Science Invasion events. Moving on to Disc Golf Lake. Disc Golf Lake has a little booth showing off all the previous weekly skins you can get from Disc Golf. In soccer, there's a massive Jumbotron that you cannot see because I'm using a streamer cam, but the Jumbotron just allows you to watch what's happening in the field from a bird's eye view. In bowling, one of the lockers has a pair of bowling shoes in it. Kind of weird because Rec Room characters don't have feet. Well, at least for now. Moving on to our second Hangout Rec Room original, being Lounge. In Lounge, there's actually a working card table that you can shuffle your cards and play a few games with. It's actually pretty cool and an underrated Rec Room mechanic. Under our final Hangout Rec Room original, being Park. In Park, if you venture far enough into the forest, you'll see a waterfall. And behind this waterfall, there's a beautiful piece of ham that you can throw at your friends. The next one is Showdown. Showdown was the first Rec Room original to not be made using Unity, and instead made fully with circuits in Rec Room Studio to showcase what Rec Room Studio can do. The next quest is Crescendo. In Crescendo, you can actually get 2 whips by starting the game and waiting until the very last second to pick up a whip. The next one is the first Rec Room original you are going to play, being Orientation. When walking through Orientation, there's actually a little trophy room for each of the years, showcasing what Rec Room originals were released or what was a big deal that year. They aren't there for every year, but mainly for like 2016, 2017, and 2018. The next quest is Isle. In Isle, on the cave level, once you finish most of the parkour, walk a bit ahead, and once you get to the crate part, use the crates to climb up this little cliff, and on that little cliff, there will actually be Jumbotron mouse bots. Speaking of Jumbotron, on the supply act, there's a little room that references Golden Trophy. It has a pot, and even Kevin the Goblin spawns. Wait, Kevin, what are you doing? Are you talking about the sponsorship of today's video, Zyber VR? Have you ever been playing VR for like 3 hours straight and you get that little message that says, headset low battery? Well, with the Zyber VR magnetic battery pack, you'll never have to see that message again. This lightweight accessory weighs just 3.2 ounces and passes nicely right onto the side of your headset, giving you maximum comfort during VR sessions, with a playtime increase of 2 to 4 hours, ensuring completely uninterrupted VR sessions. I've been using the Zyber VR battery pack for around a week now, and this is the must get for anyone who finds themselves in VR for 2 to 3 hours or longer. Just go to zybervr.com or the top link in the description to check them out. The next one is Paddleball. In Paddleball, if you don't want to use the rackets, you can just pick up the ball and throw it, which is honestly kind of dumb, but it's easier than blocking. Moving on to Stunt Runner. In Stunt Runner, on the level Perseverance, there's a secret path that leads you to a secret room with a bunch of different quest items. It's pretty cool, but if you do this in a public lobby, you may end up losing the game. The next one is 3D Charades. In 3D Charades, there are actually over 300 charade cards that you can use. I tried to count, but I gave up after 300 because they just kept going. In Rec Rally, if you look at the speed limit signs, they all say 87, which I assume is just another reference to the year 1987, which I'm almost positive is when Rec Room takes place. In Legacy 3D Charades, you can actually move the tables by just grabbing the handle and moving them up and down. The next one is Make It to Midnight. Make It to Midnight is the first Rec Room original to have its own leveling system that's not connected to the classic leveling system in any way. And that's also the same with the perks. Moving on to the next quest being Golden Trophy. On Act 8 of Golden Trophy, you can actually play basketball with the goblins. If you head over to the basketball hoop and right next to it, behind a pot, there's a basketball you can use to break those goblins' ankles. If you enjoyed this video and want to see the history of the Rec Room weeklies, click right here.